Hello and good morning. Today I'm in a 2014 Ford Mustang. Now this Mustang is the 5.0 V8, which means it is the Coyote, the 5.0, the S197, whatever you want to call it. It has the live rear axle, it's rear wheel drive, staggered wheels, whole lot of horsepower, and it is not stock. So there's a long list of mods that the owner has done to this car. Instead of naming every mod, I'm gonna put it here on the screen right now. Ton of stuff. I know there's a lot of suspension work. The motor is unopened, not boosted, so it does have some intake mod, like intake manifold has been ported, exhaust work, a cold air intake, that kind of stuff. It does have some bolt-ons, so it is making a little more horsepower than stock. So stock, the 2014 Mustang 5.0 makes around 400 horsepower. The owner of this car actually had it dynoed when it was stock, and it made 406 at the wheels. Since then, it has had a couple of upgrades, so he's estimating around 440 at the wheel on a Mustang dyno, which is a whole lot of horsepower for a very short wheelbase of a car. And I can't lie, I'm a little bit scared to do this review today. Nonetheless, I always drive carefully, I always drive safely. I never drive out of my own comfort zone. So with that being said, let's go over the interior a little bit. The interior is really nice. I love the leather in here. It feels really nice. The first thing that stands out to me when I look at the interior of this car, now I know it's called the Coyote, I know it's got the little snake on it, whatever, is that all of the leather has this like pleating as if it is like a snake's, like, I don't know, it reminds me of a snake, like the belly of a snake, you know, the pleating on the seats and in the door. That's just really what the vibes that I get from it. Otherwise, the interior is pretty nice. It kind of feels not much like a sports car, but then again, I haven't driven a lot of muscle cars, so this could just be like a muscle car thing. It's got a really nice steering wheel, actually. It's like this nice velvet, it's like a suede, the steering wheel, and then it has this kind of brushed aluminum almost accents on it. It's very basic, very nice. Everything in here is very like shape oriented. There are circles, there are squares, and like that's it. The cluster gives me a very retro feel. I feel like Ford was trying to bring it back with this one. All of the letters are, in graphic design we call it bastardized, but all the letters are kind of stretched upwards, kind of like how they used to be in the older Mustangs. It does feel just very retro. It feels like this is an old cluster put into a new car. I think they were trying to do something retro with this car. I think the owner was telling me a whole lot about this car. Apparently back in like 05 when they came out with like this platform, it was like a retro war, like all of the other companies making retro themed cars in the early 2000s, and Ford made I think it was the Thunderbird. It didn't really sell well, so they kind of revamped their Mustang to be more of a retro Mustang, and I think they really hit the nail on the head with that one, because it does feel like the earlier Mustangs, opposed to the New Edge Mustang, which kind of felt deviated from the original Mustang. This feels a lot closer to that original Mustang in a modern form, if you know what I mean. But otherwise, the interior is really nice. I sit pretty close just because I'm short, but there's almost no visibility in here. I mean, like, especially with this hood with the cowl on it, like, the windshield is very small. The windows, I feel like everything is kind of like, it's very low visibility in here. There's huge blind spots that you can't even see because the window is so small back there and the seat blocks it. But then again, you're not buying this car, I guess, to daily drive. You're buying it because it has a fantastic engine that is extremely capable of tuning, holding power, making power, putting it down, hooking, that kind of stuff. So this is your tried and true buy it, have a drag car back in 2014. This car also has a rear seat delete, which means that the rear seats were taken out, and it's kind of just like a carpet was put in there. Nobody's really sitting back there anyways. I tried to. There's no leg room, and I am a very short man, so I doubt a regular-sized man would fit back there at all. There's a whole lot of trunk space, surprisingly. The owner did a battery relocation to the trunk, so that's in there nice, tucked and tidy. But the rest of the trunk's actually pretty big. You can fit a lot of groceries in there. So, you know, parents, if your son, daughter wants this for their first car, it's a good grocery getter. Otherwise, in the interior, everything kind of feels older than 2014, I'd say. Like, it does feel like an earlier interior. Nothing's really, like, crunchy. Ah, wow, it's actually really nice touch points. All of this, like, leather around here is, like, squishy, like, soft. That took me by surprise. I was not expecting all of the interior. It's like foam. Like, all of this stuff around the dash, like the dash itself, is all like a foam with a leather print on it. Like, that's really interesting. So, man, I want to take a bite out of that. But nothing is crunchy at all. Even like the metal or the plastic around the radio, really solid. Like, interior, great quality. I'm surprisingly good quality. I know you're not buying this car for the interior quality, but it is, it's nice. It's really nice in here. The touch points are really good, and the layout is nice. It's pretty user-friendly. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get driving, and I'll talk a little bit more about the car, but yeah, let's get on the road. All right, so off we go in the 2014 Mustang. It's actually surprisingly easy to drive for how much power it has. The clutch is pretty smooth, pretty easy. I'm very surprised with that, I'm not gonna lie. It is so loud though. So if we're just looking around the interior from the first person view now, we see this cluster, how it works and everything like that. The menu here is pretty cool. It's on gauge detail. There's a lot of features in this. You got your air fuel ratio, your temps, oil pressure. Everything right here is really cool, and that is just in the gauge details. There are so many different menu items you can go here. Trip A and B, your fuel economy. Nice, we're averaging 15.4 miles per gallon. What a great number to have. Let's see what else we got. Track apps. Now this is really cool. So there are track apps in this car, like the accelerometer tells you how fast you're accelerating. Like, that is so cool. Let's see, we got acceleration timer. So you can time your 0 to 60s or 30, your 8th mile, quarter mile. That is really cool. They definitely built this car with like the drag strip in mind, as you can tell. Brake performance, and then you can clear your results. So all really cool things. Some more advanced tech in this not so advanced tech car is pretty nice. It's a little bit of a creature comfort, if you will. So far though, pretty comfortable. I mean, it's very loud. The suspension is pretty nice. It's pretty smooth. A little bit like bumpy, but it's not like in a bad way. It's just like kind of floaty. It definitely feels like I'm driving a boat. And I don't mean to diss the Mustang guys or kind of poke fun at like the Mopar guys, but I definitely see what most of the cars really think boats now. So let's give it a little rip here. Oh my god, there's so much torque. Oh, it just puts you back in your seat. There's so much torque and it's so loud. I'm honestly nervous to get on it too hard because I know it's just tail happy. I know it is. And I don't want to be tail happy right now because you've all seen the Mustang things. It started with this generation. The crowd killers all started with this generation. So I don't want to be one of those crowd killers. I'm going to take it nice and simple, nice and easy. Don't want to put anyone in danger. Don't want to put myself in danger or the car in danger. So, but yes, yeah, so far, I haven't even really gotten high up into the RPM. Feels pretty nice. I do notice though, if you're not like 100% wide open throttle, it gets a little hesitant. Like it kind of like, it doesn't know what to do unless you're like full out. So I think the car is like, it's trying to push you. It's like, go all out, floor it. Like you have to, you know? It doesn't want you to go half-ass. It's go hard or go home. If go hard or go home was a car, it would be this car. Plenty of torque to get up any hills you need. I mean, definitely not going to have a hard time driving this around a hilly neighborhood. Man, this thing is a cop magnet. It's loud, it's got tints, it's a Mustang. I mean, it's got a giant pole off the back end of it for a camera. I mean, I'd be lucky if I don't get pulled over this in this episode. But it's so easy to drive. I'm honestly so surprised. I'm so surprised how easy it is to drive. It's really beginner friendly, honestly. Even with all the mods and everything, I could see how someone can hop in this and just kind of start driving it. Oh, there's another Mustang. Is there a Mustang wave? Is that a thing? Yeah, he broke his neck. I wonder if there is a Mustang wave. Such a notchy shifter, holy shit. Sorry. Very notchy shifter. Jesus. I love the shift knob, how it has the Coyote on it. It's very notchy. It feels really nice. Like, it's short throw, notchy. It just feels really solid. Gas also feels very solid. It's really forgiving. I would hope so, considering how much power this car has. And the brakes feel pretty nice. They're stiff in a good way. Like, you want them to be stiff. And then, like I said earlier, the clutch is very easy to use. It bites low, it bites forgivingly. I don't see, like, I feel like this is easier to drive than my Skyline, which I think just has like a regular or an upgraded clutch. But man, the visibility is so bad in this car. Oh my goodness. But it's nice. It's a nice car. Like, I enjoy it. Not my cup of tea, but I do enjoy this car. I think if you want a muscle car and you're looking for one, like, these are great cars. The only issue is that the price of them. So the market for these, the 5.0 2013, 2014 Mustangs, they go around like $25,000, which is a lot for a Mustang. I mean, you can find a new Edge, or even the one right after the new, I don't know what they're called. I'm not too up to date with the Mustang lore. You can find an older Mustang with a V8 for like $5,000, but this is definitely miles better than one of those $5,000 Mustangs. Tons of upgrades, really comfortable, really nice bucket seats. I didn't even talk about those yet. The bucket seats are immaculate. They feel very, they feel very bolstered, but I'm not being suffocated. However, if you're a larger person and it has these factory Recaros, I might warn you to test drive, try on the seats first before you really commit to them. But there are loads of parts for these cars, so I'm sure you can get a different seat somewhere else if you need. So we got to think about who is this car competing with? You know, like, what cars is the Coyote competing with? And it's got to be the Camaro, it's got to be the Challenger or the Charger, right? One of those two. So looking over the Mustang and looking about those cars just on paper and from experience of what I've heard, you buy the Mustang, this is from the owner, you buy the Mustang for the engine, you buy the Camaro for the transmission, and you buy the Mopars for daily driving because they have like a decent mix of both and they're cheap. So these engines can handle boost, they can handle mods, nitrous, whatever you want to put in them, and it'll handle it and it'll hook. You can do anything with this platform. I've seen people drift these cars. You know them for drag racing. I'm sure you could do some sort of autocross with them if you did some weight reduction and like suspension work. You know, I'm sure this is a great American platform for any motorsport you want to get into. Oh my, that's a stop sign. Oh my God. I tried to give it a little bit of gas. I want to see what is going to happen, but I guess that's what happens. I'm trying to stay out of first gear because I don't want to get all squirrely. Oh my God, yeah, you have to wide open throttle this car. You absolutely have to. You cannot half-ass it. Like, you gotta go balls to the wall or go home. Wow, Jesus Christ, this thing is rowdy. Very, very rowdy. And it loves to be rowdy. It's like, let's get out there and let's shred these roads up. Easy to drive, rowdy, comfy, feels good to drive. My only issue with the car is the visibility. I can't see anything. And I don't know, maybe because I'm short I can't see anything, but I've moved the seat to a pretty appropriate area. So, what a great duality of a car. If you're looking for a car that you can, I don't even know if you want to daily drive this, but if you're looking for a great weekend car or something to maybe collect, work on as a project, like, I think this is such a good platform. You can pick one of these up, you know, maybe in bad shape, or buy an older body style and then just pick up, you know, drop in an engine. I think it's a great project. There's so many parts out there available for it. You know, they have so many interchangeable parts throughout the different generations. Like, really good if you're looking for something for a project or a weekend car, or if you want to build a serious race car. Like, this is such a good platform for that. Sorry about the intermission. My camera died from the heat. It is so hot out here. So let's go on to ratings. Now, if you don't know the way I do my ratings, I do 0 out of 100 in a sport category and 0 out of 100 in a daily category. And then I give my final verdict, would I buy it, yes or no. To start off with the sport category, I think that the car's strongest point of interest is the engine, is how well it hooks, and basically it's straight line speed. I don't really think you're gonna buy this car particularly to go on a track or like an autocrossing or like a road course or drift, but I think you're gonna buy this car for a drag strip, and I think that it does that extremely well. So if we're judging it based on how it is as a drag car, I'm gonna have to give this car an 89 on sport because of its potential. Not the way it is now, but because of its potential. And you boost this car and you get around 600 horsepower, they can handle up to around 700, you have an insanely fast car in your hands. So with that being said, 89 is where it stands. For the daily category, I'm gonna go ahead and give this car a 20. It has terrible gas mileage. Visibility is really bad. It's a cop magnet. Really, that's everything. I mean, I don't think you're buying this car to daily drive, and I don't think you should. They're dangerous. They don't get good gas. Like I said, the insurance is probably crazy on one of these. So definitely not a daily driver. Definitely a great sports car. Final verdict, would I buy one? Yes or no? Personally, I'd say no. I'm not much of a muscle car guy. Yeah, it's just not for me. But, you know, if you're into muscle and you have $25K to spend on a muscle car, I think this is a really, really good option for you. So, in conclusion, I think this is a great muscle car, great drag car, project car, weekend car, terrible daily driver, not much of a track car. You could make it one of those, but there are just better options for the price. But overall, really nice car, good quality interior, looks great, drives really nice, really smooth. I think it's a really great weekend car for any age. I want to say a special thanks to my friend Alex for letting me review his Mustang. I did a review on his Corolla VE. Go check that out if you haven't already. Very interesting car that you wouldn't expect to be actually kind of cool. Check out Alex's Instagram in the description below if you want to see more of this car posted on his page, or if you're local to Long Island and you're looking for someone to detail, wash your car, interior, exterior, definitely hit him up. He does a great job. But yeah, in conclusion, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If there are any cars you want to see in particular, please let me know. I'd love to cater to whatever car you want to see. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day, guys.